Hey everybody, thanks for joining me on what is a pretty exciting day for me. Today I am going to be opening my new camera. It is however tinged with a little bit of sadness because it does mark the retirement of my DSLR, so that will be no longer. But it's a bit of good news for my one-shot colour ZWO camera. I'm going to be moving that permanently onto my space cap, which I think is going to make a great addition to that scope. But what it does mean is it frees up a little bit of space on my main scope, and I'm excited to bring in my new Mono camera. So join me as I take a merry meander into the marvellous money pit that is Mono. My name's Matt and this is Everyday Astro. So just before we get started, I wanted to confirm that this has not been given to me. I have not also been loaned it either. I have paid for this with my hard-earned cash, so any opinions I give about this are entirely my own and I am not influenced by anybody. As you can see, I have two boxes here, so I have bought both the camera, which is the QHY268M, the mono camera, and the filter wheel that goes with it from QHY. I have also bought a set of astronomic filters for LRGB and SHO as well. Unfortunately, like all filters, they seem to be as rare as hen's teeth at the moment, so I am still awaiting the filters to come through. However, this does mean I've got some time to get this unboxed, get it set up, and to make sure it works before I get the filters and then can start imaging properly. My plan is to run these as a series of videos. So today I'm going to look at unboxing both the filter wheel and the camera, and in future videos I'm going to look at things like how I connected it all together, how I connected it to my telescope, and the first light I managed to capture with it. So do keep an eye out for that series. It would be super helpful if you could hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and if you hit the little bell icon next to it, it will also alert you when my new videos come out to make sure you don't miss them. But other than that, let's get started. Okay, so we're going to open the box that everybody wants to see first. I know you're all dying to see the filter wheel. This is the QHY filter wheel that is designed specifically to go with this and their cameras as well. Like everything with QHY, it is a well-designed box, and I'm pretty excited about what's inside. So if we have a look, inside the box we obviously have the filter wheel itself. So this is a good start. It's what you want to see. It is a pretty thin filter wheel, so I don't know if you can see that very well, but it is not a very thick piece of equipment, which is great news. It does have some substantial weight to it. It feels very, very well made, to be honest with you. It's a nice looking and feeling bit, and I do particularly like the anodized blue at the bottom. I think that is a nice looking part of that filter wheel. It also comes with the USB cable, a sticker, because we all love stickers, adapter, the longest thumb screws you will ever see in your life, I think, so they I'm sure will come in useful, and you also have some connectors for this as well. One of the key ones being this one, which links from the camera to the filter wheel, which acts as both your USB and power for the filter wheel, so it reduces the number of cables that you do need to have. I will say QHY is a complete ecosystem unto itself, so do be aware of that, especially if, like me, you're used to using ZWO cameras. You are used to how all those things connect together. QHY does not work in the same way. Doesn't mean it's bad or anything else, it just means it's different, and I'm going to have to get used to that. So hopefully as you come with me on this journey, you will see that there are things that are different as we go through, but just bear that in mind if you do choose to go through the QHY route. So let's just pop that back in there without dropping it, and just move this box over here. Okay, so let's get on to the main event. So like everything with QHY says, that the boxes are fantastic. This is possibly the biggest camera box I've ever seen. Considering all that is inside is the camera and a few cables and adapters, it is a pretty substantial box and it is beautifully designed. So I'm just going to go ahead and rip this off. Okay, so that's that gone. So now let's have a look at what is actually inside the box. So if we can get this to very slowly make its way off. Okay, so inside we have a card that says open the box and find your treasure. So that's that. Okay, so well, this is a good start. We have a very well packaged camera in here. And, wow, very well packaged indeed actually. And this is a seriously substantial camera. So there we go, that's the camera itself. Let's just have a quick look at this. We can get this out. I mean, it really is. I don't know how well that's coming across in the video, but this is a substantial camera. You know, that's got to be getting on for a kilo in weight. But let's just have a quick look at it before we go any further. So I said this is the QHY268. So this is the mono version. So it is an APS-C size sensor. So if I was to open this with any luck, yeah, okay, look at that for a sensor. I mean, hopefully that is coming across in the video, but that is a nice looking sensor. So it is mono. It's a 26 megapixel camera. It has a pixel size of 3.76 microns, so that is a good pixel size for this. One downside I have noticed compared to the ZWO cameras that I'm going to have to think about as I set up my equipment now is that this doesn't have a USB hub. So whereas my ZWO ASI 294 has 2 USB ports as a hub on the back, this one doesn't. So now I'm already thinking I'm going to have to reroute some of my cabling in order to make this particular camera work. So that's going to be an interesting concept as I start to put this together. Again, I go back to their ecosystem is just completely different to ZWO's, so do be aware of that. But on the back here, just to show you, we've got the USB port for this. We have the power input, which is a threaded input, so I think that's a great thing because for any of us who've ever kicked or tripped over cables during an evening's images, the last thing you want is to be ripping things out and losing power to things, so I think that's a positive bit. And then you have the port, or power port, that is also for the filter wheel. So that gives you that direct ability to connect your filter wheel to your camera, and you need no other cables apart from that. So it reduces cable drag, it reduces the number of cables and USB ports you need. So that's a really positive part of this. So if I put that down just for a second, within the box, if this bit wants to come out, it's a little bit easier. You do also get a whole collection of various different bits and accessories in here. So there are things like the power cables in here, there are the spacers so that you can get the right back spacing for your equipment, and all of that is in here, but I'm going to go through all of those in more detail in another video. So my next video is going to be looking at how I connect all of this together. Now that we have this unboxed, I just wanted to take a quick look at some of the key details around this camera. So as I've said, this is the QHY268M, so this is the mono version of this camera, and as I said during the unboxing, this is a beast of a camera. I mean, if we just compare this very quickly to the 294 MC Pro, you can see there is a considerable size and weight difference between these two cameras. It really is a beast of a camera. But for some of the sort of more technical bits around it, so this is an APS-C size sensor, so it's a big sensor in there as well. I'm really excited about using the bigger sensor. It's a Sony sensor, it's a 26 megapixel one as well, so we should get some decent quality out of this. And the pixel size is 3.76 microns. So when this is paired with my Explore Scientific ED102, this should be pretty much perfect for my scope. So I'm really excited about getting this on there and getting started. One of the other things I think that's really exciting about this as well is there should be 0 amp glow. So I am going to do some tests with this. It doesn't mean that I can stop taking dark frames at all. So long as I'm dithering, does that mean that I should be able to do one less painful thing that we have to do in this hobby? So I'm going to do some experiments with that, and I will feed back in another video darks versus no darks with this camera. So that could be a really interesting part of my experiment. So overall, the technical specifications for this are excellent. I mean, I clearly believe in the camera. I've paid a lot of money for it, so I genuinely think that this is going to be a real improvement to my images. I'm really excited about this mono journey. There is going to be a whole lot I'm going to have to learn going forward, not in terms of just how I take the images, but also how I'm going to be processing those as well. And I'm going to do my best to document that journey stage by stage and share it with all of you. So if you have found this video useful, please do remember to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me grow the channel when you do that. The next video is going to be about how to attach all of this equipment together. So if you're not sure how the QHY ecosystem works, then you're not alone. I also don't know, but I'm going to work that out and share it in the next video with you, and then get this attached to the telescope and start taking some first light with it. So I look forward to speaking to you then, but until that time, clear skies.